They beat him, mocked him, scorned him, and they led him away to die. The man who had healed the sick and raised the dead, who had walked on water and calmed the storms, was now carrying a heavy wooden cross through the crowded streets of Jerusalem. He stumbled under its weight. He fell, yet they forced him to rise, and so he pressed on toward the hill called Golgotha. The crowds watched in silence. Some wept, others mocked, and then they laid him upon the cross. Large iron nails were driven through his hands and his feet. The wood groaned, flesh tore, bones splintered. The cross was lifted up and planted in the ground, and there he hung. Every breath was agony, every movement was torture. The religious leaders mocked him. The soldiers cast lots for his clothing. One criminal railed at him, but the other asked to be remembered when he came into his kingdom. Below the cross, his mother Mary stood with the disciples. Her heart was breaking. And Jesus, looking down at her, said to his disciple, "Behold, your mother." In all this suffering, with eyes lifted toward heaven, he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." From the 6th hour until the 9th hour, darkness covered the land. An unnatural night fell in the middle of the day. The sun was darkened, the earth shook. Even the temple veil was torn in two. At the 9th hour, Jesus cried out with a loud voice, "Eloi, Eloi, lama sabachthani?" My God, why have you forsaken me?" Then, knowing that all things were now accomplished, he said, "It is finished." And he bowed his head and gave up his spirit. At that moment, the earth shook violently. Rocks were split apart. The tombs were opened. The veil of the temple was torn from top to bottom. Centurions and guards who had witnessed everything were filled with fear. They said, "Truly this was the Son of God." This moment, this sacrifice, this act of love, this wasn't the end. It was the beginning of salvation, the beginning of grace, the beginning of reconciliation between God and man. He chose this. He chose the cross. For you, for me, for all who would call upon his name, for all who would believe. This was love in its purest form. This was the ultimate sacrifice, that we might have eternal life. Thanks be to God for his unspeakable gift. For God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. He chose the cross for you, for me, for all of us. This was love in its purest form. This was the ultimate sacrifice, that we might have eternal life. Thanks be to God for his unspeakable gift.